Newport Bay Town Center. We're here at Liquid Nutrition. Liquid Nutrition is in between the airport and the fresh food market. And I'm so excited to show you this. We're going to give you the experience of what it's like to come here and see our good friend Christine Carey. This is her store.
Hi.
Hi, Christine. So nice to be here.
Thank you for coming. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Liquid Nutrition.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So now we're here inside Liquid Nutrition, and this is always the kind of greeting that you get. We have Christine, as you know, and this is Christine's mom and the manager here, Ruth. And so it's so nice to be here, and it feels like welcoming and like your home, actually, at Liquid Nutrition.
That as soon as you have children, you're only known as somebody's mom. So this is my mommy.
But,
have a name.
Ruth. But this place is owned by you and your sister Janine, and
Yeah, that's right. And so really the inspiration for what we've done here at Liquid Nutrition all came from our mom. Because we, a long time ago when we were in high school, Mom was one of the first people that had been bringing in organic foods, and I don't need to tell this story. I mean, she packed lentil soup for us to go to school and teas in the morning. So that's really how this all started, and Mom was the inspiration, and then of course Janine and I, through our own lives, developed the motivation to make this happen.
so, Ruth, you were always on this kind of health kick and keeping your children healthy, even before it was, now we're getting into a kind of fashion with it in the Bahamas, and we're also seeing that people have diabetes and all kinds of things as a result of not eating very healthy. But you always intuitively knew that you wanted to give your children a healthy start as well as yourself.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, definitely I've been vegetarian for like 30, almost 40 years.
Oh, wow.
No red meat at all. And consequently, I never cooked any red meat. So the girls, they would never have any meat.
It was very, very rare.
We would have chicken occasionally, but even that one was cut out because I didn't really agree with the hormones and the way how they were treated. So
Okay.
basically all my food, it was whole food. And like Christine said, I would get up in the morning and prepare lunch, packed lunch, and would give it to the girls. And I was just wondering why they always ate everything. And then
It was all gone.
And I found out that actually their friends were basically eating the stuff as well. So I had to cook a little bit more for them. So even to this day, I meet some of those girls and they say, oh yeah, I remember your lentil soup, that was so good.
Those are nice memories. Yeah, so everybody was taking your food at school.
Yeah, of course. And then we were sneaking the peas and rice from the cafeteria.
That's funny.
Not all the time. But my mom has such an interesting story too. And, it really stems back, I think, your interest, but of course, correct me if I'm wrong. This is what families do, right? They tell you your story. But mom's family were a product of the war in Germany. And so Mom was witness to a lot of illness that was, of course, a result of all of the repercussions of a wartime. And I think that's really what started to drive you to recognize the importance of having food.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because in my family, then when everybody got older, they got very, very sick. And it was osteoporosis and
Heart disease.
Heart disease, well, definitely.
Obesity.
And that, for me, was the main reason for the health, reason to be turned vegetarian and then eventually plant-based or vegan.
Oh,
after
okay.
that. So that's really mine. And then also with myself, I had noticed as well, I might as well talk about that too.
Yeah.
As a vegetarian, you eat a lot of cheese, and milk I didn't drink. I had stopped that. But of course I eat the cheese because, that made me feel good, and I thought I deserved it and all of that. So, I packed on the food, the weight quite a bit. And then I said, oh, I don't understand that because I'm eating so well, except that I have the cheese, but I should be, a lot slimmer, but I wasn't anyway. So I decided to be vegan.
Okay.
And within 6 months, I dropped all the weight,
Oh.
together with exercise, mind you,
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
No, it's a
and
combo.
de-stressing as
And
well.
I got rid of some of my stress that I was
Yeah.
experiencing at the time as well.
Yeah.
So basically, then that's really the story with that. But then also it was that I was interested also with the animals, how they were being treated.
Oh, yeah.
That was
So
an ethical point of view.
from that time, from always.
Yeah.
That's good. And we're finding now, so with Liquid Nutrition, you are dairy-free and
There's no
soy-free.
no animal products, nothing processed at all in the
Okay.
store.
And it's all plant-based.
Everything here is plant-based. You will not. We do our very, very best to make sure that when you're on the road or when you don't know how to do the things at home, you can come here to us and get a really good dose of nutrition in a way that's combined that it tastes fantastic. And Janine and I, it was little over 6 years ago now. I can't believe how much time goes by. But we had decided that we wanted to do something together. We knew it would be great for our growth as sisters.
Right.
But more importantly, we wanted to bring something into our community that we had experienced internationally. Especially, both of us, we were in the health field in different capacities for well over a decade by that point. We knew that having the option of a healthy fast food, or goodness to go, as the brand likes to call it, was going to be the right thing for us because that's what we believed in, thanks to our mom. She really put that solid foundation in for us. And also because we knew it was the way of the future. So we address health or kale eating or spinach eating or superfoods as a fad. But we're past that point now. These are not fads anymore because we are recognizing as a global community how important it is to eat well, to nourish our bodies so that we prevent disease. And also, even if you have disease, that if you get on the right eating program, and as Mom said, de-stressing, increasing joy, all of these things, then what happens is you can actually turn around your overall health. From a cellular perspective, you can completely adjust your life. And that's really at the core of it. That all of our cells are the microcosm of our personal ecosystems, which then move out to a wider consciousness. And that's why I love that Mom was always aware with the animals, that we're not killing too many of them. Yes, some people enjoy eating meat, and I think that meat can serve a positive impact for some people, not as much as we're doing it, but we do need to consider these things from a global perspective also. It's not sustainable, and it's also not doing anything good for us.
Well, also we need here in the Bahamas, we see that diabetics is rampant here.
Yep.
And obesity is just tremendous here as well.
Yeah.
So that was also the reasons why you thought that was a good idea to bring this concept here as well.
Yeah.
And the thing is if you look at the standard Bahamian diet, and I'm not looking at the standard American diet, let's just focus here in our community. You have people who are eating meats, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're doing the tuna and grits or the sausage and grits or a breakfast sandwich. And then for lunchtime, you're doing the healthy turkey sandwich or the grilled chicken.
The white meat.
And then for dinner, people will have pork chops or fish or whatever else. And think that those are the healthiest options. But you're having meat 3 times a day then, even 2 times. And what we are looking for is meat really no more than 3 times a week for any blood type, any body type, any person.
And what it does to your digestion as well.
Yeah.
That's why constipation is such a big problem.
That's right, because we can't digest that within the right period of time.
It takes like 7-8 hours to digest.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's really nice to learn all this and because we're trying to, a lot of people don't know, right? We don't know because we're taught that you're supposed to eat these meats and that there's better for you types of meats, and that's why we're eating so many meats, right? Yeah. And it's nice that your family and you saw people in your family was doing something and you saw that people were unhealthy from it, so you intuitively knew not to do it yourself, and then taught your children that. That's great. And so many times we have to learn from our own mistakes instead of learning from other people's mistakes, right? Yeah. And we really don't want to get into being unhealthy. We want to be preventative. And so if we're, once we're not healthy anymore, then you have to go and review your lifestyle and change it, right? But if you still think that you're healthy, so you can still eat meats, you can still eat a lot of carbs that we have in the Bahamian meals, a lot of fried food, and think that you'll be okay because you're not sick yet, the answer is you will be sick, right?
Yeah.
That's right. And the whole world is seeing that shift right now. So I'm so happy that you brought Liquid Nutrition here, because I think that a lot of people, well, for myself even, were afraid of, let's say, kale, that word kale, or how to cook. Yes, and even the beautiful wheatgrass, I see it, but I'm like,
What is it?
What
It's
does
a
it do
grass.
for me? I'm afraid to eat it. And I see here that you have wheatgrass shots and stuff, and that you're encouraging the wheatgrass. And then Ruth, you told me how beneficial wheatgrass is, for example.
Well, it is very alkalizing. It's good for weight loss. It purifies the blood, basically. And I'm going to do a little cheating here.
Well, the thing with alkalinity, just as you're looking through that, we use these kind of words, and a lot of people don't understand why it's important to be alkaline.
Yes.
Alkaline water is something that a lot of people are into, or alkaline foods, or the alkaline diet, which Dr. Andrew Weil made very popular, anti-inflammatory. So when you have foods that are alkalizing for the body, what you're doing is helping to diminish the amount of acidity. And when your body is acidic, that's when you hold on to toxins and you can't eliminate them. So the more alkaline you are, the more able you are to flush and neutralize toxins. Neutralize and then flush. And so that's why alkalinity is important. So you have high acidic foods, which are processed foods, packaged foods, meat, coffee,
wine,
prescriptions, alcohol, food dyes, and they're grease and oils and fats, processed fats are in that as well. So just even going through that list, you notice that there are many things that the traditional, or the standard, not even traditional, the standard Bahamian diet incorporates very often. And even now on the medicine side, we're using prescription medications to put Band-Aids on problems, rather than using the whole foods that you see here and in the farmers markets that we have that are growing now, and in people's personal farms in their homes. That's what we need to start. Not just, we don't put Band-Aids on health or illness issues anymore. What we have to do is go to the very bottom and start to change the dynamic of our cells by reducing acidity, allowing our bodies to flush, by really creating nutrient-dense foods that will help to energize us and purify. That's really what it all comes down to.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
there's a lot of enzymes as well, which we need for digestion, for good digestion.
well, you can see it. You can see it in your family, how you guys look. You radiate. Your skin's nice. Your hair is nice. Your eyes are nice. You're healthy. You're strong. You're toned. So that's how I always feel, is that I want to listen to the advice of somebody that's actively living that, and you look healthy. So that's why I want to follow you. Yeah. And so now, Christine, you're a mom of 3.
Yeah.
And
I still don't know. When I see them, I'm like, oh my gosh, they came from me. How beautiful. But I was like, woo, am I that old? That happened, My daughter's 6 foot tall now, and she's over, and I'm like, wow, how?
Yes.
The baby's up to here. Yeah, no, it's fun.
I know, but then they naturally like to go for healthy foods over, let's say, no? So how do you?
He's sort of a little inclined with the fruits.
Yes.
Yeah.
The baby one, and you know what, I often, because my background is in I love everything to do with moms and babies, right? So everything goes back to that for me. So I was looking at the way that I ate when I was pregnant with my children to see what their eating habits are like now. And science is now finding a correlation between tendencies of behavior, food choices, sleep habits, everything now from pregnancy into later adult life even. So with Jolie, I used to love eating hamburgers and fruits. And I used to exercise. I was 22, I was 21. Major life changes, traveling all over the place. And what does my daughter like? Same type of food, traveling and freedom and creativity. That's her, right?
Okay.
Of course, it's still me, so I'm not saying
Yes,
it's just a funny thing to think about.
Yeah.
Marcel, my middle son, was my love child. He was purposefully created. I ate pastries when I was pregnant. I had cheese and sausages and flan, and he comes out, this boy who loves sweets and is soft and tender
interesting.
and delicate and kissy and huggy, right? And then Javier, or Javi, the baby, I had dengue fever with him. He was an unplanned pregnancy with my husband at the time. Didn't know if we wanted him, thinking about abortion, dengue fever at 4 months. And then I started working out and fixing my health, and I wanted this baby and gave him a home birth and like the most perfect environment that could be created for him. and he comes out this warrior and strong and determined, and he likes fruits and vegetables and working out. Like, you should see him when you know they come tag along to the gym.
Yeah.
And so again, like Mom, what she did with us, it was that foundation, and look what we're creating now. And it's not just liquid nutrition. My sister and partner is an Ashtanga yoga instructor. She does meditation classes. She's a fitness instructor. She's
Right.
a dancer.
Yes.
And Mom is, and she's a holistic health coach. Mom is a plant-based food counselor. She's a yoga instructor. She,
Yes.
you know, runs this with us and is an amazing guide.
Bachata
Bachata dancer.
Yes.
Right? I'm a holistic health coach. I help moms and babies with breastfeeding and birth, and I do meditation and stretching and deep breathing classes and, you know, massage therapy. So it's what you do with your kids is absolutely vital to understanding how they're going to turn out later on in life.
Yes, and it's so nice that this is your whole lifestyle. So it sounds like it's surrounded by just so much positive energy and helping others to get onto these paths and really enjoy life, and, you know, yoga, stretching and meditation and helping everybody. So that's nice. I think that a lot of people, you know, have a lot of stresses in their life and don't know how to cope with it many times. And then I heard that actually can keep the toxins in your body, right?
Stress, for me, if I think about wellness and how to achieve it, it's threefold. It's about moving your body. It's about eating nutrient-dense foods that vibrate at a higher frequency. That means living foods, whole foods. And it's about reducing stress. That means understanding relationships and the role you play in them, understanding imbalances, yes, yourself in them, which is really the primary thing.
Yeah.
Understanding what is draining you and what's keeping you up at night, what's keeping you feeling unsettled, and find solutions to those. And a lot of times we need our community in order to do that.
Thank you. And on that note, we're just going to take a quick break, and we'll learn more about this when we return.